What's up, everybody out there? Chris here, and welcome to the debut and first episode of Thought Bubble. I'm super excited to finally be able to bring you all this series. Now, before I get into anything, any intros about what this series is going to be about, this is a debut. So since it's a debut, I decided to set this first video to premiere. So if you are here right now watching this live, feel free to chat in the comments below. I should be there. And for those of you that don't know what premieres are, unfortunately, if you're watching this live expecting a live response, and I think this will be one of the last times I mention this because I think everybody by now knows. But anyway, in case you don't know, I can't live chat with the chat because this is a video. This is pre-recorded. Let's put it that way. So if you'd like to chat, I'm in the comments. And feel free, we'll have a conversation while this first episode goes on. Now, Thought Bubble. This is a series I wanted to start for a while now, and this is going to be my version of a topic video. And let's talk about frequency, let's talk about length, let's talk about what's going to be on it. And we're going to go backwards. What's going to be on it? I'll be discussing anywhere from 1 to 3 topics depending on what I'm talking about, and as far as what the topics can be, anything and everything. Anything's free game. So anywhere from 1 to 3 topics, anything and everything. As far as the frequency, I would love to do this once a week. That's the goal. For right now, though, I think this will be a series that is touch and go whenever I can. But the goal is to get this on a once a week basis. I can't promise that right now, and that's going to go into the second. This is the first episode, and we have 3 topics. We are on the first one right now, which is intros. But there is a reason why I don't know if I can promise a once a week, but I am going to try my hardest to get out of Thought Bubble as much as I can, especially if there's stuff to talk about. And believe me, I have a list of things to talk about. Intros, intros is at the top of the list right now because doing intros for videos, if you make videos, you know, intros are the worst and hardest thing. I will discuss this at a later date, but it took a long time to get the intro for this done. So if you're watching this, this is the video that finally made it. So anyway, I'm going to try my hardest to get the frequency of this video up to at least once a week as soon as I can. Now, lengthwise, depends on what I'm talking about. As you all know, I'm very passionate about a lot of things I talk about, whether it be life, writing, comic books, video games, what have you. So even if it's one subject, it could go anywhere from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. I could have a 5-minute video talking about 3 topics and then a 10-minute video talking about 1 topic. It just depends on what I'm talking about. And yeah, so I can't tell you a length. I wish I could. But lengthwise, I don't know. Will they always be premiering? To be determined. If you'd like this to be a constant premiere series, I have no problem setting this to premiere. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts. And that's another important factor here is regardless what I'm talking about, I have a comment section. You are more than welcome to share your thoughts on anything I talk about in my topic videos. And you're welcome to recommend something. If you'd like to hear me talk about something, feel free to drop a comment below. Let me know what you'd like to hear my thoughts on. And if I have an opinion on it, I'll put it on the list. And I will definitely talk about it at some point. So recommendations, sharing your thoughts on whatever, even if I'm talking about my life, feel free to share your thoughts. That's what the comments section is below. Of course, as always, you know, be respectful, yada, yada. You've heard this a dozen times before. If it's going to be a disgusting comment, it will be taken away. And of course not answered, and you'll probably end up being blocked. But beside the point, if you have a comment, if you'd like to comment on whatever I'm talking about, feel free to. And that's the intro. Now, that was first of 3. We have 3 topics in this first video. Now, the second one, I titled it Hitting a Wall. And at the beginning of 2019. Hitting a wall at the beginning of 2019. And yeah. I started 2019 off with a lot of things I want to do. A lot of projects, this being one of them. And the problem with having a lot of new projects, along with a lot of running projects, along with a lot of new running projects that you have is, you end up hitting a wall and you get nothing done. And that is exactly what happened the first 2 weeks of 2019. I had a lot of things I wanted to do, but unfortunately hit a wall, and I wanted to do this, but I had to do that. I wanted to record then, but I had a show for that. And really quickly I realized, whoa, and I started realizing newer commitments coming up, newer commitments I had made, and I said, wait a minute, stop. Because I was already against the wall at this point. So what I decided to do was back up a bit. First of all, schedule out all the things that I want to get done, because I have this channel. I have my review channel, Dark Avengers C86, until after the 500th comic review. I have Comic Frontline. And then, above all else, I have Last Ember Press, 529 Studios, my comic. So, the comic obviously taking precedent over most, because this is my job. This is what I love doing. Comic right here. I'm sorry, the camera's mirrored, but, you know, I want to get the next issue done. I want to get everything set up. I want to move forward with Celestial Falcon, because I'm really excited, honestly, to move forward with not only the first arc, but getting into the next arc and getting forward in doing some other work in 529. So I'm really excited about that. So that obviously is the #1 priority of 2019, is to get things moving forward with 529 Studio. But then there's everything else I do on YouTube. And really quickly I noticed I was not over committing, because then that would be going against what I said I wanted to do in 2018. As you all know, 2017 was a really low year all around for me, creative wise, what have you. And 2018 has been a really high energy, productive building year. This channel came out of that. I don't want 2019 to be going backwards. I want to move forwards with that. So I decided to back up. Any new commitment I made, either I stepped out of it temporarily or permanently, depending on the situation. And any newer projects I had, I decided to step back and schedule them out a little bit better, to the point where I can get things done, like Thought Bubble now. I'm getting done finally, and I'm starting to feel the pressure of being against the wall off of me, because things are starting to move forward again. The gears are starting to move forward again the way they were in 2018. I'm really, really happy about that. And having things scheduled out a little bit more is helping out video-wise. So now I'm kind of moving off of that wall, but it sucks when you hit a wall. And anyone who's into doing a lot of different things, whether it be online, work, what have you, you understand moderating your time is the most important thing. And if you accidentally if you go over into something else, it starts to mess up your, I want to say, your wheel of production. And that's what was happening at the beginning of 2019. I had overcommitted to doing a lot of things that I wanted to do, that I'm working with others on, and that started to slow down my wheel of progression, which now I'm glad to say the wheel of progression is moving. January was just one of those months, and moving into February, I'm looking forward to a lot going on all around. But I'm just happy to be off that wall, because that worried me for the beginning of 2000, to start a year off against the wall. And honestly, I wouldn't even say it's against the wall. It was more of a just slow start. Now that I think about it, now that I'm I've gone over the wall, I've already made the thumb though, so I'm sticking with it's hitting a wall. I've gone over the wall now. It was a very slow start, thank God, to 2019, instead of being stuck on a wall. Hopefully, as time moves forward, there'll be more stuff on here for me. I have a few other videos I'm working on for this channel, but again, I'm going to be scheduling them out a little bit better, so this way I can enjoy doing them, you can all enjoy watching them. And yes, I do have a lot planned though for this channel, so you have a lot to look forward to. I'm just going to schedule it out a bit more, and then once I start getting the series going, getting things moving, getting a feel, which is exactly what I'm doing right now with Thought Bubble with this first episode, is getting a feel for how long it takes, how much work it takes. This is going to be unedited because I want to get this up, but I'm going to try to edit these so I don't have a lot of ums, uhs, and broken talk. But this is going up unedited, and maybe I'll keep it that way. Again, this is me feeling out all the different things I want to do, what sticks, what doesn't, what could be edited, what needs to go up raw, so I have to make sure I do this all in one take kind of deal. So that's what I'm doing, and hopefully you're all enjoying this idea, and hopefully some of you might actually have some topics you'd like to hear me discuss, and I'm more than open to discuss a lot of things. So that's the wall one. I don't want to spend too much time, because the third one is what I'm most excited about talking about topic-wise, and that's starting up my writing again. Now, I say that, and all of you are like, but Chris, the Celestial Falcon. When I say starting up my writing again, I mean beyond Celestial Falcon, beyond comic writing, starting up writing again. I've been pondering this since the end of 2018. I've wanted to go back to writing beyond comic books. And I don't mean writing books or anything like that. Way back, I am not going to age myself, but a long while back, I had a blog I used to write. And on there, like this video, for example, like this channel, I talked about a wide variety, I wrote about a wide variety of things, whether it be video games, life. Back then I was into wrestling, so I had I had wrestling topics I would talk about. And then I also shared some fan fiction I had written, whether it be Superboy related, like I had written a Superboy script once or what have you. But I wrote a lot, and it was a pretty popular blog in its time on the website I used. Unfortunately, that website went down or changed in a way where blogs no longer were on it. It was MySpace, okay? It was MySpace. And I had a lot of readers. And with MySpace closing out the blogs, all I had left was Facebook. And with Facebook, either you had friends on your Facebook or you left it public and hoped somebody else would read it. With MySpace, it was more of a community blog that I was in, so a lot of people ended up checking out the things I wrote. But now we have Blogger, or we've had Blogger for a while now, and I actually started debating if I wanted to go back into writing. And one of the things that writing helped me with was writing was very therapeutic because it helped me get out a lot of emotion, kind of like videos. But writing sometimes is easier to do than videos, because writing, you could write a little, get up, walk away, come back. You could be interrupted and come back to it. With videos, as you can see, it's most of the time it's either a one take or it has a lot more involved than writing a blog. So, and that's not to say that it's any more important or any more involved. Both are very, very involved. But I thought about it, and I'm thinking about reopening a blog where I'll write from time to time. And I'm really excited because on there, I actually do have a few stories I might be sharing on there. I have an intro blog that I'm working on as we speak, and a post. I'm going to call them posts. That's what they're called now anyway. So I'm actually thinking of going back into writing, and it'll help me build up my writing skills a bit again, because I haven't written, other than Celestial Falcon, I haven't really written a lot in quite some time, and I miss it. And I'm hoping that maybe the thing that took me away from writing posts was the fact that I had lost all my readers when MySpace closed out their notes, or they were called blogs actually at the time, and trying Facebook out and absolutely getting nil to nothing compared to what I was getting on MySpace. So I was kind of a little bummed out, and that kind of ruined writing for me as far as blogs, not writing stories. I've written stories all my life. I love doing that. But it ruined that making posts, because I had a lot of readers. I had a lot of people talking with me and commenting on my posts, and then going to nothing. It kind of bummed me out. So now that we have Blogger, and now that I've actually worked on one, I've fixed one up, I'm actually thinking about going back and doing that again. And I'm hoping that if anybody's interested, you'll come check it out. But I am doing that. I want to go back to writing a little bit more beyond just comic books, beyond just stories. I want to go back and start sharing a little bit in blogs. So that was what was on my mind at the end of 2018. And I actually, like I said, I set up a blogger and everything, but I haven't written on it yet. But I'm thinking about doing that soon. Love to hear all of your thoughts on that. But I think I'm going to do that for therapy reasons, for therapeutic reasons. It makes me feel good writing sometimes, and sometimes I don't want to write a story. Sometimes I might just want to write about whatever. And that's exactly what this series is going to be, me talking about whatever's on my mind. And that is one of the things that has been on my mind for, I'd like to think, about 2 months now, is just getting back into writing something beyond scripts. And I think that's what I'm going to follow through with. And with that, we're at the 14-minute mark for this first episode, so I think we're going to close it out with that. Thank you all so much for being here for this first episode. I hope you all enjoy it. Feel free, like I said, to talk about anything I mentioned here. If you'd like to share your thoughts on any of the topics I talked about, your point of view, like if this has happened to you, if you want to share that this has happened to you and how you got out of it, for example, being up against a wall, or if you'd like to talk about writing, feel free to comment below. Anything you'd like to hear me talk about, feel free to comment in the comments below. But until then, and until next time, take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your Friday. I should be posting this at, I would say, 12 in the afternoon. So hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you're not watching this Friday and you're watching this at a different day, night, whatever, hopefully you're having a wonderful time of day, night, whatever. And I'll see you all soon in the next one. Take care, everybody.